The message came at 2:14 a.m. My phone buzzed once, lighting up the dark room like a small betrayal. Can we talk? Just 4 words, ordinary, almost innocent. But after 21 days of silence, they felt like a ghost's whisper. I stared at the screen, my thumb hovering, trembling slightly. My heart knew who it was before my eyes confirmed it. Claire. My wife. Or rather, the woman who used to be my wife before everything burned down without flames. I remember the last night we spoke, the night the house finally fell quiet. She stood by the kitchen sink, the same place she'd laughed 1,000 times, making pasta and humming to herself. I remember asking, "Is there someone else?" She froze. The sound of running water masked the silence that followed, but I saw it in her eyes. That flicker of guilt, that hesitation that spoke louder than denial ever could. She didn't say no. She just said, "You're tired, Daniel. We both are. Let's not do this tonight." But the truth has a way of waiting for the dark. It started with the little things, late nights at the office, her laughter at messages she wouldn't let me see, perfume that lingered too long on her coat. But it wasn't until the night I drove past her company's parking lot and saw her car parked under the flickering streetlight that I knew. She wasn't alone. I sat there for 15 minutes, hands gripping the steering wheel so tight I thought I'd break it. When she finally came out, head tilted toward him, smiling like she used to smile at me, I didn't rage. I didn't confront. I didn't even cry. I just drove home and packed half her things into boxes. For 21 days there was nothing. No calls. No explanations. No apologies. The silence was its own kind of torture, like waiting for a wound to stop bleeding on its own. I replayed everything in my mind, wondering where I had failed. Maybe I worked too much. Maybe I stopped noticing her new haircuts. Maybe she just needed something I didn't have anymore. Excitement, youth, attention. But betrayal has a cruel simplicity. It doesn't always come from what's missing. Sometimes it's just because they can. So when her text came, "Can we talk?" I didn't type a single word. Instead, I reached into the drawer beside my bed and pulled out the envelope I'd been staring at for a week. Inside was a signed document. A quiet ending. The papers that would make everything she'd broken official. I took a photo of my signature, clear, sharp, final, and sent it back with one line. "We already did." Then I turned off my phone. But life doesn't let go that easily. The next morning she was at my door. When I opened it, the smell of her perfume hit me first, that same lavender scent I used to love. She looked tired, thinner, her eyes swollen like she hadn't slept in days. "Daniel," she started, her voice trembling. "Please, can I come in?" I should have said no. I should have shut the door and walked away. But old habits die slower than love. I stepped aside. The house felt foreign with her in it, like she was a stranger haunting familiar walls. She walked to the kitchen table and sat down, her fingers tracing the wooden grain. "You sent me the papers," she said softly. "I didn't think you'd actually do it." "What did you think I'd do, Claire? Wait forever?" "I thought," she hesitated, eyes glistening. "I thought you'd want to hear me out." I laughed, but it came out bitter. "Hear what?" "The reasons you slept with your coworker. The why behind your silence." Tears slipped down her cheeks, but I didn't feel sympathy. Not anymore. "It wasn't like that," she whispered. "Then tell me how it was," I snapped. She opened her mouth, closed it, then said quietly, "I made a mistake." I leaned forward. "You don't mistake yourself into someone else's bed, Claire." The silence between us was suffocating. I could hear the clock ticking behind her, each second like a hammer against glass. Finally she said, "It happened once. Just once. I was lonely, Daniel. You were always working. I felt invisible. And when he noticed me, it felt nice." Her words cut like paper, small but deep. I looked at her, really looked, and for the first time I didn't see the woman I married. I saw a stranger who wore her face, who had her voice, but none of her honesty. "Do you remember," I said slowly, "our first anniversary? How you made me promise never to lie to you, even if the truth hurt." She nodded. Then tell me this, did you love him? She closed her eyes, and that pause was all I needed. The truth doesn't always come in words. Sometimes it comes in the spaces between them. I stood up, unable to breathe. You should go, I said quietly. She rose too, shaking. Daniel, please. I ended it. I realized too late how much I destroyed. I want to fix this. I want us back. I turned toward the window, watching the morning light spill across the floor. It was beautiful, but it didn't warm me. I wanted us back too, I said. For 21 days, I waited for you to knock. Call. To say something. You waited until you lost control, not until you found regret. Her breath hitched. I was scared. So was I said. But the difference is I stayed. She walked closer, her hand brushing mine, a touch that used to comfort me. Now it burned. I still love you, she whispered. Please don't do this. I looked into her eyes that once held every reason I needed to believe in forever, and I realized something terrifying. I still loved her too. But love isn't always enough to rebuild what trust has shattered. I pulled my hand away and nodded toward the envelope on the table. Sign it, I said. Let's at least end this honestly. She broke then. Full tears, quiet sobs, the kind that make you remember what heartbreak sounds like. You can't mean this, she choked. I do, I said softly. Because if I don't, I'll keep waiting for the version of you that died the night you chose someone else. She signed it, slowly, her hand shaking the whole time. When she was done, she looked up at me one last time. I never stopped loving you, Daniel, she said. I just stopped being who you loved. And with that she left. It's been 3 months now. The papers came through last week. Sometimes when the house is quiet and the rain hits the windows just right, I still hear her laughter in the walls. But it doesn't ache the way it used to. People say betrayal breaks you. They're wrong. It doesn't break you, it reshapes you. It teaches you that silence can be louder than shouting, that closure doesn't come from forgiveness, and that sometimes love's final act is letting go with grace. So when she texted again today, I miss you, I stared at it for a long time. Then I typed back, I hope you find peace. And for the first time since that night in the kitchen, finally did too.